But anyways, we got a 500-year-old map that shatters the official history of the human race.
What?
We've had this around a while. We never got to it. Have you looked at this before?
Yeah, not super recently, but there's weird stuff in this.
So, if conventional wisdom on the human history of the human race is correct, then human civilization is not old enough, nor was it advanced enough to account for the many mysterious monolithic and archaeological sites around the world. Places like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey and the Bosnian pyramids and Adam's calendar in South Africa beg the same question. If human civilization is supposedly not old enough to have created all these sites, then who or what had the capacity to create so many elaborate structures around the globe? So we've got this fucking map, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and it supposedly is, drawn before we theoretically had the knowledge of this geography?
Yeah,
or what?
exactly.
So what exactly does it depict that's so controversial? Do you know?
No, you know what? I don't have this, so I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. Antarctica was officially first sighted by a Russian expedition in 1820, and it is entirely covered in ice caps thought to have formed around 34 to 45 million years ago. It should not have been seen on any map, and it's seen on this map, I guess. So that's one of the things. But that's easily disputable. I mean, conventional history still tells kids in school that Columbus fucking came and discovered North America and was the first European here. But it's clearly documented Vikings were here. Mm-hmm. African tribes came here. I don't even know if other European people maybe even were here, you know. It's possible that some French and Scottish people were here, I think. There's some tablets that they found and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just conventional history just ignores anything that it can't immediately explain is just thrown out of the mix, you know? And so you wind up with this idea that's like, this challenges history as we know it. Well, because it's history as we accept it. So if you don't accept history, this isn't really that fucking surprising. It's not surprising to me. You know, what do you guys think?
Nah, I've seen Ancient Aliens.
Yeah, I keep it, every time. I've seen a lot of things where they find technology that's like beyond what they expected those people at that time to have.
There's just basic stuff. Like there's Roslin Chapel in Ireland, where there's like corn and wheat and a bunch of like symbols of the Americas. Mm-hmm. And it was built in 1307, and the pillar was carved then. And it's like supposedly before anyone around there should know about anything, like that. So,
yeah.
The conventional history is just totally bunk. It sucks. It's just not. I don't even know why it's homogenized in textbooks and stuff, and it becomes supposedly the conventional truth, But it's just really no more legitimate than anyone else's study, And there's so many different fucking people out there that'll tell you that it's just not correct, that we were much more intelligent for much longer than they would like us to believe. And that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. What is the motive to make us believe in the dumbed down version of history? You know? Because here we've got clear evidence that that they were mapping Antarctica 500 years ago. What is this thing called? Piri-Reis, P-I-R-I-R-E-I-S. It focuses on Western Africa and the east coast of South America, the north coast of Antarctica, and features the details of a coastline that many historians and geologists believe represents Queen Maud Land, that is, Antarctica. Remarkably, as represented in this map, the frigid continent was not covered in ice caps, but rather with dense vegetation. How could a map drawn in 1513 feature a continent that wasn't discovered until 1820? And if the continent had in fact been discovered by the civilizations known to have emerged after 4000 BC, why were the ice caps not on the map?
It seems like the question is, why is history so resistant to change? As information is able to come together with technology and the internet, and people are actually able to share ideas more, it makes sense that our initial version of the story would have to change because new things would keep coming to the surface.
Yeah.
But why aren't these things actually introduced into the academic environment, and why can't it be malleable the way that it should be?
Why isn't it welcomed, a new challenge?
Yeah.
Let's vet this, let's Let's discover the real truth. Why does the academic community want to believe in a narrative?
Yeah, it seems like history should be less like of a memorization and more of an actual process of discovery,
exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have less ignore and more explore. That's what I say.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So this. What do you got? Do you got anything on this for us?
I mean, no, they don't know very much about it. There's a group of scientists working on decoding it, I guess, and trying to like figure out exactly how they came about.
So I guess it pertains to like the argument on Antarctica and how the ice caps formed and when exactly too. Yeah. So there's a guy, a history professor in New Hampshire, Charles Hapgood. He claims that the information in the map supported a different view of geology and ancient history, and believed that the map verified his global geological theory, which explains how portions of Antarctica could have remained ice-free until 4000 BC. His presentation is so convincing that even famed theoretical physicist and philosopher Albert Einstein wrote the following supportive foreword to a book that Hapgood wrote in 1953. His idea is original, of great simplicity, and if it continues to prove itself, of great importance to everything that is related to the history of the Earth's surface, said Albert Einstein. So he supported this fella.
Yeah. One idea.
It's not a hoax, unquestionably, supposedly, and this comes from a few different sources, but go ahead.
Yeah. But one idea is that the South Pole was actually more where the equator is. And that's why it's the lithosphere. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I think it's like the magnetic.
So it's like we've read the magnetic structure of the Earth, like we've inverted it almost so that the equator goes around the Earth the other way.
No, it shifted overall, which is what caused the climate change.
I like my theory.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, go ahead.
We just got it wrong. Let's see. The lithosphere is under the crust, and I don't know what it does.
Oh, great. The hypothesis, it opens the door to the possibility that some forgotten ancient civilization had the capacity to voyage to the Antarctic, charting the Earth with the technology. So what is this map? It's at least 500 years old, or what? Did they date it, or what? Do we not know?
No, we
don't
know.
How old it is?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's at least 500 years old.
Antarctica's crazy, man. A lot of occult groups have wanted to get to Antarctica for some reason. There's something going on down there. There's some shit. Them tools. The tools.
It's the entryway to
that back the Nazis, It's the entryway to the Hollow Earth.
The Hollow Earth,
yeah. Admiral Byrd flew right in.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's better. Grass is greener on the other side.
Animals grow bigger. All kinds of shit. You guys know about the Hollow Earth, right?
Yeah. We've talked about that.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of old, and this actually what they're talking about here about this like alternative geology and history and stuff of the South Pole. There's people that propose the same thing in the North Pole, and there's ancient legends all over the place of like northern tribes, way northern Europe and like Netherlands and shit like this, and Greenland and everything, and they have these ancient legends of their elders would go north in the winter to hunt in greener, warmer pastures, and they would like travel miles and miles and into the earth basically to get warm. So clearly they weren't traveling across the North Pole to China to fucking get whatever, what I mean? And so yeah, there's a lot of fucking a lot of shit we do not fucking understand. So we don't have much left here, and we